This video will demonstrate how to terminate the ends of a cable for this Wago connector. This will plug into a Spyder Controls drop tap. Needed pieces for this will be the Wago end, wire strippers, a knife, side cutters, the cable for the termination, a Wago hook tool, and a recommended piece will be some heat shrink. The first step is to remove some of the jacket of the wire or cable to which the Wago end is being connected. So take a knife or sharp object to score the jacket. It should then peel back and break, and the jacket can be removed from the wire. The internal insulation here will also be removed. In this case it's a plastic, so that should also be stripped away. And in this case we'll have to cut it because it didn't quite cut with the knife. The remaining wires will be used to be for the Wago blocks. So red is V+, white is H, blue is L, black is V-, and this corresponds to the label that should be found on the Wago connector. So these wires can be arranged in their desired order. The next step will be to strip the ends of the wire as long as these are even. If they are uneven, the wires should be snipped off so that each wire is approximately the same length. Next, the wires can be stripped with wire strippers, and at most approximately an inch of cable should be removed. This is to prevent the wire from being stripped too far and getting too deep in the connector, in which case the insulation will get crimped and a poor connection will ensue. So each wire is stripped at just around 1/4 of an inch. You'll notice the wires are slightly out of order here. We'll have to rearrange that before putting them in the connector. So we now have the 4 ends of the wire, and these can be twisted off just to prevent fraying. Now they are ready to be inserted into the connector. Before we do this, a recommended step here is to add some heat shrink to the end of the cable if it's available. This will slide over the cable and the exposed wires to prevent a bit of strain relief and sort of clean up the end right near the connector. So for now we'll slide it back. It just needs to be in place so it can be brought back later and heated up. Now take the connector and the plastic hook tool. We refer to this as a hook tool. Its purpose is to open up the holes to which the wire will be inserted. So this hook tool is used as follows. The hook is placed at this end of the connector, and the little knob here will push down on the component inside. Upon doing this, the red wire can then be inserted into its slot, pushed to the bottom, released, and it is now held firmly in place. We'll do the white wire next, and the procedure is exactly the same. Hook tool in place, push down, insert the wire till it gently bottoms out, and release the tool. Give each wire a slight tug test to make sure that it is firmly in place. The blue wire will be the same. This should follow the sticker or label that is on this Wago end. Finally, the black wire will be inserted, and it will also be placed. So now the wires are all in place if heat shrink exists. This little string can be cut. It is an internal component of the cable that is unneeded, so it can just be cut off. The heat shrink can now be brought forward, and this would now be heated with a heat gun, and this cable is now terminated and ready to be plugged into a drop tap